Hello everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome back to my F1 23 My Team Career Mode. We are now at Silverstone, round 8 of season 4 for the British Grand Prix and the halfway point of the season. And we had a very strong sprint weekend out in Austria, second in the sprint, and we matched that in the race, I believe. So you know what, let's try and keep this positive momentum going. We scored a nice haul of points. Here's hoping that this is the weekend we can go one better. But first up, it's qualifying for this British Grand Prix. And every corner around here has to be perfect on this high-speed circuit. It's been an uphill struggle to move the car forwards, but with the right amount of upgrades, we are back at the front and now we can fight. And I'm going for pole position here, and I'm going, hopefully, for the race win. It's going to be very hard to beat the Williams of Lando Norris because at the moment he is on a run, but all runs have to come to an end eventually, right? And hopefully this will be where our run begins. And at the moment we are looking at pole position on this qualifying lap. We just need to keep doing what we're doing, because I tell you what, this is looking at being a very competitive lap. Round Maggots and Beckett, and that is as fast as I dare go around there, but at the moment we look like we're just hanging on to pole. I think it's a Mercedes that is looking at edging us here, but as we come to Stowe, flick it round perfectly. 2 corners left to go, and this is where it can make or break. We've gone a bit deep into the first part, and I think that has broke any chance of getting pole. But you know what? It's still going to be P3, and the 2 cars in front, I think we can at least have a go at on the first lap. But you know what? The pace is there. We're in the fight for this one. That's the important thing. But it's Max Verstappen who has taken the pole over Lando Norris. Look how close it is between the top 3 though. If we'd have just clipped the apex a bit tighter, we might have made that. But it's still a top 3. Verstappen and Norris are your front row. This is going to be a very interesting British Grand Prix.
Welcome to not only the home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Joker, Drugovich, Stroll, Russell, Tsunoda, Albon, Doohan, Théo Pourchaire, Oscar Piastri, Ricciardo, Sainz, Leclerc, Joe, Gasly, Helga, Ocon, Sargent, Magnussen, Liam Lawson, and Frederick Vesti. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Well, penalties for Sainz and Helga, 2 of the more consistent drivers this season. That's going to make things interesting. But this is my home Grand Prix. We're starting P3, and I want to be P1. Can we do it? Let's find out then. 18 laps are ahead of us. What can we do here at Silverstone? And we are underway, and it's a very good start by us. Norris really not away well, but you know what, we've gone through, and in the first corner we take the lead of the British Grand Prix for the 2nd time this season. We lead a Grand Prix a little bit deep into one, but that doesn't matter, and Lando Norris has not had a good start at all. He is down to 4th, and that is music to my ears as he is the championship leader, and we could do with gaining a few points on him. But right now the fight is with Mercedes as Norris slips another position to George Russell. But at the moment we are leading with Max Verstappen right behind in second, and then it's Stroll, Norris and Russell. So Norris just about able to hold on to the place ahead of George Russell. But look at Verstappen coming at us now. Max is fancying a go early on. These are the key moments of the Grand Prix now, but we need to try and stay ahead, and this is the key part where we need to stay ahead. And unfortunately Verstappen is going to have a bit of an early run, but he's not close enough to do anything with it. On the brakes for Stowe for the first time, and Verstappen still very much lurking in my mirrors, but there isn't going to be a way through there. End of lap 1 then. We're leading the way over Verstappen. Stroll is third. Stroll having a phenomenal start from P5 on the grid. Verstappen still trying to find a way through in this early stage of this British Grand Prix, but at the moment there is no way to do it. And I'm doing what I can to keep my car on the road and hold on to this lead, because I want a first win of the season. It's 8 races and we haven't had a victory yet, but one here would certainly mark us as a contender for the championship for the second half of the season. But we need to win here. It needs to happen, and especially on a day where Norris could be beaten by the likes of Verstappen, it'll help us take more points on him to get the gap down. At the moment, it's us, Verstappen and Stroll, your top 3. But I tell you what, Norris is gaining on Stroll, so Lando may be up to P3 soon. But at the moment, my fight is with Verstappen, and here we go. He's got to run down the outside of Stowe, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it work there. He is trying to make it work, and he has made it work. He's still down the inside, but he got a bit wobbly on the exit, I think. And he just lost out, but he's having another go up the inside of Club. No way through there, and we have held on to the race lead. But Verstappen is getting impatient. He sets the fastest lap of the race, and keeping Max Verstappen behind you, well, it's a very, very difficult task. If Verstappen wants to come past you, he's going to find a way past. The Dutch driver is very hungry, and he is after this race win as well to get his title campaign back on track. He led it for a few races in the early stage of the season despite not winning a race. He did lead out for a couple of races, but now it is Lando Norris who is your championship leader, and Max Verstappen is half a second behind us as we come round to the technical, well, I wouldn't say technical, but the Maggots-Beckett complex once again. And it's going to be all the more difficult to hold Verstappen behind, because this time he's going to have DRS, which means it is probably a matter of when over if, and that is not how I needed to handle this part of the circuit. We have overtaken our disposal, but that's not going to help us. Look at that, Verstappen is through. He's quite easily through, but he's now going to the inside to cover, and, well, he's got a bit wobbly on the exit, but he tried to cover, and he managed to make that work because we missed our braking spot and nearly go into him, and that's not what I needed to do. I needed to try and stay with him, as now he's got a second up the road, and Max Verstappen is going to clear off into the distance. There's no doubt about that. He is just faster here, and unfortunately our time of leading the race appears to be at its end. But we can try and recatch Max if we can, see if we've got any pace to do so, but I don't think it's quite there. I think we are just about behind him at this stage, and Verstappen just driving clear at the moment. But we're staying within a second. If we can stay within DRS, we might be able to give Max a headache.
ETA about 15 minutes.
Interesting. There's a chance of rain in 15 minutes, so I don't know, that could be to the middle part towards the end of the race. The last few laps we could see rain, so that's something to keep an eye on, the potential of rain. It's not something that was brought up during the race, but it's something that may come up as we've got that horribly wrong. But I've got DRS, but the one thing I'm not going to be able to stop here is Lando Norris coming past, or are we? Or are we? I have the inside line for Stowe, and Norris, who was giving it a go there, not able to make it through. And it's just as well we had the DRS on Verstappen, because that's held position for us. But we've gone wide there, and look at that, we're half a second clear. Back of DRS, should I say. And Lando Norris, well, it's a matter of when over if, isn't it, really? So Verstappen is clearing off into the distance. That much is clear, but what can we do? And is there any shot? Is it worth considering an undercut? Is it worth considering getting an undercut and hoping that the rain comes? Or is it even worth staying out until the rain comes? There's an interesting strategy proposition for you. We're on lap 5 of this British Grand Prix. Lando Norris getting ready to attack, and I think it is just going to be a done deal when we get to the hangar straight, because look how closely he's staying with me. In fact, I've gone deep through tops. He's having a go here. It's not going to work, but the fact that I've had to defend is going to lose me time. And sure enough, Norris is going to have a go down this straight. I'm going to park in the middle of it and see if it forces him into a difficult position. But he's gone through, and he should retake the racing line here. And Norris up to second. We're down to third. And any chances, any hopes of winning this race at the moment at least, seem to have gone out the window. The one thing I can consider is an undercut, especially with the forecast of rain, or try and stay out until the rain comes. But given how warm my tyres are, I think that particular strategy would be suicide. Let's follow Norris for now, see what we can do. Let's follow him for now, stay within DRS, and see if we can at least give the Williams a bit of a headache. Verstappen is clearing up the road, that's a given. I just wonder though if there is any chance at coming back later in this race. Look at Norris, he's got the legs, he's starting to stretch away now, and this is a shame really, because I really hoped we could go for the win here. I mean, it might still be on. A long way to go yet, anything can happen. We do have DRS for another lap, but I think we're going to lose that soon. Trying to do what we can to keep up with this battle, which isn't really a battle. I think Verstappen has the edge on Norris here. Max has looked quicker all weekend, and Drugovich is now coming after us. So I think next lap we'll pit for mediums. In fact, look how we had a slide round club there, so I think this is the time to make a pit stop, and I'll be honest, I'm not going to hold Drugovich up if he's going for it, because we'll just lose time doing that. So yeah, I think it's time to pit, and I think it's time to consider getting the car in and trying something just a little bit different. How long till the rain?
Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
10 to 15 minutes as Drugovich is diving down the inside. I'm just taking my racing line. Is Drugovich going to try and fight that one? Yes, he is. But he's not able to. I'm just taking my racing line. I'm not particularly defending him. Drugovich had a go. It didn't work. He'll probably have another go down the hangar straight. I won't fight him because I'm doing my own race. In fact, he's going to have a go here. Let's let him go. Not worth fighting that one. Drugovich at this stage quicker, but what that will do is give us a nice dose of DRS down the hangar straight. And now we pit in.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
So now we pit in and hope that we don't get a red flag once we've pitted, because that would just ruin the race entirely. For now, we seem clear. There's Sainz, he's moved up really nicely. Quite pleased to see the progress that Carlos has made. as we now cruise through the pits. And a safety car obviously would ruin us as well. So I'm hoping for neither a safety car nor a red flag, because I genuinely think we're in the hunt to win this if we can nail this undercut.
Stop, faster than we were expecting.
And we should even get a nice bit of clear track as well once Zhou Guanyu has gone past, and yeah, we do.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
So I wonder what's happened to Zhou then, because he's way down. But we've got a nice clear bit of track, and this is where we need to make it count. This is a couple of laps now where we can try and push through and retake the lead of the Grand Prix. It's going to be a difficult task, but I think we can at least get past Norris at least. If we're behind Verstappen, then so be it, but I think we can beat the Williams today. I think that's a fair target, and we can give Lando a bit of a headache. It is clouding over a bit, but still no sign of rain, but it is on the way. And if my calculations are correct, I reckon we'll see it about lap 13.
So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay,
Although they're still saying 10 to 15 minutes, so I don't know. We may even not see it for this race, but that was nice through Sector 2. Even though that says red sector, I don't believe that was that bad. The first up is catching Zhou Guanyu. I think we will see one or two cars pit this lap. In fact, Lawson has dived in. I think a few of the mid-pack has as well. That's not the line round there again. We're losing time. We don't want to be taking that line. We can't afford it. Right, here's Zhou Guanyu now. What do we do? This should be a straightforward overtake, I hope. We're going to go round the outside, and he just doesn't have any real turn-in traction. So I wonder if there's damage on that Alpine. We've got a nice dose of DRS for our trouble as we catch up with Vesti and Ricciardo. And that DRS helping us nicely. That's a purple first sector. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's keep pushing. It's time to just go for it. I think catching Verstappen might be too tall an order, but I think we'll definitely give the Williams drivers a headache, that's for sure, as we now catch Daniel Ricciardo, and I'm hoping that we don't get backed up here, and we're not getting backed up here. We're able to push it, but Ricciardo's just not going to have the traction to fight us, and he doesn't. We've got the inside line. I think we should be able to take Vesti too. We do take Vesti too. That's a nice little double overtake on traffic there, and they're both hitting in anyway. So we now resume, and I think this is going to be a nice little fastest lap. And that's going to worry some people. Right, where's Verstappen? There he is. He's just leaving the pit lane now. But we are going to jump the two Williams, and we're ahead of Norris. And we're right behind Verstappen. Let the hunt begin in this Grand Prix. And Verstappen has gone on hard. So he's not going to be quite so quick during this stint. We might have a chance at attacking the Mercedes here. But we have to nail this lap. This will be the only lap we get to do it while he's heating his tyres up. And look how much traction we've got on him while he's heating the tyres up. This is going to be a close run thing, but we're going for the lead of the British Grand Prix here. Or should I say the net lead. Using all of Copse and more, but we're within half a second. So we're very close to Verstappen. And I feel like this should be our best chance to have a go at the Mercedes. Carlos Sainz in the pits. We're not close enough. We just needed a little bit more. But I'm not giving up. Yeah, I think we can still attack Verstappen. We just got to play this smart. Eight laps to go here, and it is really clouding over now. There's Drugovich coming out of the pits. So he's going to be in P4. But this is for your lead of the race then. This is us versus a driver that is going down as one of the greats, Max Verstappen. We're going down the Hamilton straight, and we're going to try and get alongside him. Verstappen goes to cover. Round the outside of Brooklands, Verstappen going a little bit deep, nearly touching us. But we've made him through. Verstappen trying to find a way back through the inside of Luffield. And we take the Mercedes and take the lead of the British Grand Prix. And what a move that was on Max Verstappen. No quarter arse, none given. But Max is now coming back at us. So Max, you've got to think he will have those hard tyres up to temperature. And we're going to need a run here to try and stop him getting through. He's going for the left. We're staying on the inside. Verstappen back through, or is he? Or is he? Because I'm later on the brakes. Forcing the issue here. And once again, we hold the lead here at Silverstone. This is getting serious. And I want this win. I want this win to really put me in the hunt for the championship. This is where we need to be. We need to be all out attacking here. And that's exactly what we're doing. And Lando Norris is starting to gain on the two of us here. Verstappen will have DRS down this straight. Is he going to find a way through here? No. But it's going to be down the hangar straight that we become a bit vulnerable to the Mercedes. Norris actually at the moment still lurking at about 2 seconds, and Norris is not particularly there as I'm trying to save up as much overtake as I can, because Verstappen is having a go into Copse, and we're going to shut that one straight down. He is not doing to us what he did to Hamilton. No way, Pedro. Keeping my foot in it as well around Maggots and Beckett. That gains me an extra 10th. How critical is that extra 10th? Alex Albon is out of the race. Let's have a quick look at what happened with Albon. I think, oh, that's not Albon. My apologies. Where is Albon? Albon's having an engine failure. So he started in the top 10 and it's just not gone his way during this part of the Grand Prix. But back to the hangar straight now, back with the main action. Verstappen's having a go around the outside. No way through there. And we hold on to the lead once again. But we've got to do that 6 more times. And it's going to get progressively more difficult. Especially as our tyres will age faster. Verstappen being on hard. It does make it a little bit more difficult for him. And it has now completely clouded over. And I expect if there is rain coming, it's going to hit in the next few minutes. And then it's an impossible decision. Do we stay out or risk inters? Russell also putting on medium tyres there. But at the moment we're just half a second ahead of Max Verstappen. And we're approaching the yellow flag zone. And Norris is now within a second and a half. It's lap 13, and this is the lap I thought rain would come. No rain at the moment to report. And Verstappen may have a little look up the inside of Copse. No look is on there. Sure, no, Verstappen's going to have a look into Beckett, and that's not going to happen. Verstappen having a look there, and that's going to back him up a bit. So that's not going to help him, but he's got a better run this time. And surely Verstappen is going to have a go. I'm trying to keep the racing line. Verstappen's going to have to go up the inside. He is going up the inside. I'm deeper than I would like. Verstappen is up the inside. He's taking the lead. But we've got the inside for Club. We're going to break a bit later. And we're going to run Max out just a little bit wide. And that gives us P1 again. But now Lando Norris is in the fight. The championship leader in this fight. He's going for a turn 1. He's going for a turn 1. Where is he? Lando is there. Side by side into the Abbey chicane. We're going to try and hold him. We're going to have the inside. And Norris is just going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think that is Abbey there anyway. I'm not entirely sure. But Norris is just going to have to wait a little bit longer. But this battle This battle has been raging all race, and it has now reached fever pitch. Drugovich is getting involved. I want this win. I want to win the British Grand Prix here and put myself within championship contention. We have got more upgrades coming to the car. A final set for the season, and I want to give myself the best chance at having a championship charge. We haven't won a race this season, but that would be a great way to launch it. And this time round, no threat at Stowe. But Norris is getting impatient. He's getting hungry for it. And Verstappen is just waiting in the wings as we complete another lap of this British Grand Prix. And Norris is going for it at turn 1 again. It's not going to happen this time as we... Ooh. Were we too far off the track there? I think I might have to let Lando go because I definitely saved position on the track. I think I'm going to let Lando go because I think I saved position by going off track. So I'm not going to fight him here. I'm going to hope that we can stay close and get him back later in the lap. So for now, Norris leads the Grand Prix, as he probably would have led if I had made the circuit. But now we're going to give Lando as much of a headache as we can and stay with him as much as we can. And we're actually doing it. We're really doing it here. Oh no, we've gone wrong. We've gone wrong. I think Lando is just going to have enough in his pocket there to keep the lead, and Verstappen's going to want to go. But look at us down the straight. Look how much we gain. I don't think this is quite done and dusted yet. I think we can still have a go at Lando. I think we've just got to do it right. 6/10 is the gap. I believe we can get that down though. And we've done a nice job there. I'm a bit tighter into the corner than I want to be. And I think Norris has got such a better exit. Norris has gone. So Norris has gone. We've got 3 laps now to hold off both Drugovich and Verstappen. I think Norris has well and truly disappeared, but we're going to try and stay with him. I'll be honest, I did consider not letting Lando go, but I did go off the circuit at turn 1. And rules are rules. I've gone off the circuit again there, to be honest. I think Drugovich is going to have a go around here. We're not letting Drugovich have a go. I've gone very wide there. I think Drugovich is going to have me. We have got DRS, but Drugovich is going to have a run. Is he going to go down the outside? I think he's going to try it. Drugovich around the outside of Stowe. Has he got that done? I've left him room. I've been very courteous, and Drugovich nearly running me off the circuit there. And we have bang wheels with him. Verstappen trying to go, no way through there. But Drugovich is through as well. And he nearly ran me off the circuit. We're now down to P3 from leading this race. And the frustration is setting in slightly. I really feel like we could have had a win. Another wide moment there. And that's going to help Verstappen through. The car is not quite there yet. But there's been a lot of hard work put into this car as Verstappen goes down the inside. And we're going to try and hold him out. And, well, we've made contact by steering into him. And Verstappen gets third. So it looks like it's going to be P4 if we can hang on. But the rain is now coming, so it is starting to rain. We tried to hang out around the outside, but I think Verstappen got a touch of understeer, and then we went into him, so is what it is. Let's try and bring this home to P4 now. We have got damage, so that is going to make it a little bit harder to keep ahead of George Russell. It's disappointing because we had a chance of winning this race, but the Williams and the Mercedes today were just too fast. I think one way or another they were coming past. I did my best to defend, but obviously where I went off the circuit here, I feel like I had to let Lando go. It's going to be another win for him, and that's going to be more points for him in the championship.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
It's the last lap of the Grand Prix though. I'm hoping that George Russell doesn't give us too much stress. I think we should be okay. He is right there though. But it's going to be another 1-2 for Williams, who are just running away with this championship. It has to be said. But we are going to fight back in the second half of this season. I can guarantee that to you now. We are going to fight back. And Russell's going through for 4th. Here comes Russell. You're not going to try it there, mate, that's for sure. We may even lose 4th to Russell here as the rain is starting to affect us. I'm going to try and hang on. Parking the car in the most awkward of positions so that Russell doesn't find an easy way through. And in fact, Russell's now trying to go up and under. Not going to happen. It's Lando Norris then who wins his home race at Silverstone, with Felipe Drugovich getting 2nd, Verstappen getting 3rd, and we have to settle for 4th.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Here we are then, a fantastic British Grand Prix, and what a performance it was from our race winners today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings.
So it's yet another win for Lando Norris. He is just unstoppable this season. And I believe it's, well, another Williams 1-2. I think it's the 3rd of this season, as Felipe Drugovich nabbed 2nd. Verstappen, who was fighting me for the win at one point, grabs 3rd. We're at 4th. But we do get a fastest lap, so there's a small consolation. And then Russell is 5th, Sainz gets 6th, Stroll, a shocking day at the office, in 7th. And then it's Piastri 8th, Doohan grabs 9th, Tsunoda 10th, and Dennis Hauger has his first race outside the points. Well, what does this mean for the Drivers' Championship? Well, Lando extends his gap to 28 points on Drugovich and 51 on Verstappen. So there is a clear gap developing now between Norris and Drugovich, and a clear gap between Drugovich and Verstappen as we are halfway through this season. Can anybody close in on that gap? This result does move us equal 4th in the standings though, with Lance Stroll, but obviously Lance has won a race this season, we haven't, so he's ahead on countback. And then Carlos Sainz holding on to 6th, Russell is 7th, Hauger 8th, Piastri and Tsunoda rounding out your top 10, with Jack Doohan in 11th and Pourchaire up next. Which means Williams now have a commanding lead in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes are second, we're behind Mercedes and sort of closing in. And then it's Alpine up in fourth with Alfa Romeo, McLaren, Red Bull, Haas, AlphaTauri, Ferrari and Aston Martin. Thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Join me again next time, but until then, it is TTFN. Ta-ta for now, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.